Can you see Sohan?
Yeah. Is the
Okay.
audience here?
Um, I think some people are left to join. I think we can start in like 2 minutes. We just wait
Okay.
for more people to join. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can start till the others join because there are three presentations. So, yeah, you can start, Sohan.
Okay. So, hello everyone. I'll be conducting this presentation in which I'll explain how AI works through coding, difference between AI and coding. Ma'am, next slide. Okay, so before that, I have a few recap questions. First of all, what is AI? So this is a question to you. I need an answer from you guys. What do you think AI is? Like anyone can answer. If nobody knows, it's fine. We don't
AI
get
is
offended.
artificial intelligence.
Yeah, AI is artificial intelligence. Correct. So it is basically a program which works like human intelligence, makes decisions through coding. So yeah, basically that is AI. Then second is, where do we see AI being used in space? So I'll tell. AI used in space is basically when you send a few rovers to some missions, maybe in Mars, or there are rocket propulsions, the route of the rocket. So that is, the decisions are made by AI. The path is selected by AI. Then third question is, can AI think exactly like humans? So for now, it might not be true, but in the future, it is going to be true. I'm pretty sure about it. Like AI would think exactly like humans, how humans think, because for now, AI doesn't have emotions. So, that's a factor which AI will be gaining. Ma'am, next slide. Okay, so this is basically a game. I'll just tell what it means. So, or what it explains. So the game is known as like, can you control me? So this tells how a robot actually works. This tells how coding works. Coding is basically I'm giving some instructions and I'll be getting the same output every time. Like you just give that question and you're getting the same output. And so that is the left hand side which you see. But in the right hand side, what you see is AI. I will ask the question. For example, move forward. But AI will ask how many steps because it wants a specific answer. Then I will ask, touch your head. But then the AI will ask, is it left hand or right hand? We have two hands, right? So it could be anything. So it wants a specific answer for anything, and then it will give the correct output. So this is what the game explains. So, ma'am, next slide. Now, coding versus AI. Now, in starting, I told that coding and AI are two different things. So, coding is that humans write fixed rules. Basically, humans have done coding. And basically, yeah, so coding is going to give the same output. That's the second point. Like calculator. You put 2 plus 2 in calculator, it is always going to give you 4. Or you put any other mathematical expression, it's going to give you the correct answer. Whereas AI, it learns from the questions which you are giving. It evolves basically. Just like in the previous slide, it will ask few of its questions, and then it will give the 100% correct answer. Then, then yeah, you can see the second point. It improves predictions. So predictions are basically done in space, in weather patterns, as you can see. Like usually when you go to play, before that you look at your phone that what is the chance of rain. So if it says like 85% chance or 95% chance, so that is done through AI. Okay, ma'am, next slide. Yeah. So this is AI or coding. It's kind of a game, but it's like informative. So it's a fun fact. So calculator, I told you just in the last slide. So calculator is just coding. Then traffic lights. Traffic lights is also just coding. It's done by humans only. Time to time, that coding is changed by humans depending on the traffic. Then YouTube is AI. So YouTube makes its own playlists. I mean, it depends on the songs to which you're listening. Then that band exactly that playlist it will make. So it is also known as data science. So that is something which YouTube or Spotify does. Then face unlock. So there are like phones now which unlock after they look at your face. So that is AI. Because even if you wear sunglasses or you wear a hat, it's going to know that it is you, and it is going to unlock the phone. So that's why it's AI and not coding. And next is Google Maps. In Google Maps, both are used. So first is coding, that is to give you a route, but AI will tell you the shortest route possible at that given time. So if there is some blockage, the Google Maps tells you that there is a block in the road. So that's why you should not take this route. You should take the other route, which it might be lengthier, but you will reach earlier. Then we have ChatGPT. I think everybody knows ChatGPT is an AI platform. It's very famous for giving mm, like educational wise, it's more famous. It gives answers. So I think everybody knows that ChatGPT is a type of AI. Ma'am, next slide. Okay. So now I'm going to tell you guys to how AI thinks. Now you can see on the right hand side that there are cats and dogs. So through coding, so AI needs coding, but then AI, how it can tell that dogs and cats are different. So it looks at some key features. So some of the features might be its ears, some might be tail, fur, nose, eyes. So it does not look at the whole image, but it goes into specific details which will easily distinguish. So that is how AI thinks. Ma'am, next slide. Okay. So the activity is to become an AI. So it is basically to play with the part. So this is basic. I could say it's a homework for you guys. You have to play this with a partner. So one guy is going to have the animal of his choice, of his or her choice in their mind, and the other one is going to ask yes or no questions. So you can't ask what is your animal's favorite color. So that's not a yes or no question. So there are some sample questions given here. So it's does it fly? Does it swim? Is it a pet? Four legs. So for that, the other person can give yes or no answers. Then that the other guy who's asking the questions will have to guess which animal the other guy is thinking about. So that is the activity, and that's a homework for you guys. Ma'am, next slide. So basically, acting like that makes you an AI. So the person who is asking the questions acts like an AI. So this is a decision tree. This is a, a representation of the previous slide, which I just showed. So in this, the AI is asking, that is one of you guys is asking, does it live in water? So if the answer is yes, then you will understand that if it lives in water, then it is a fish. But if it is no, then you keep on asking questions like what is given here. So AI asks, AI and that has feathers. So yes, then you will know it's a bird. But if no, then you will ask again a different question. You so that is just trial and error, trial and error. You keep on doing until you reach the answer. So that's how AI works. Ma'am, next slide. Yeah. So this is an assignment for you guys. You have to build your own AI. So not coding and all, that's too difficult right now, but it's a simple assignment where you have to think of a fruit, sport, or superhero or anything of any theme, and you have to draw a decision tree. So in the previous slide, ma'am, can you go to the previous slide? Excuse me, ma'am. Can you go to the previous slide? Yeah. So in this, so this is a decision tree. So you have to make something exactly like this. So you have to think of some questions. So obviously your answer will come at the last, but you have to think of such questions and then there should be a yes or no. So these are conditions. So if it is yes, then it will then you will like write a decision that okay, it's correct. But if no, you keep on asking questions. So that's a decision tree. So this is what we call a decision tree, and this is what I want you to do. In the end, you can see dog. So for yes, if it is dog, so like that's the correct answer because no other question is asked after that. So I want you to think of a theme exactly like that, like any other theme, and you have to make a decision tree by that. So, ma'am, next slide. After this, okay. So my question to you guys is, where do we use AI every day? So, like just like I told in the previous slide, so it's just that it's simple. So it's in everyday world, you use it for face unlock, first of all, which I've already told. Then Netflix and YouTube. So yeah, it's written there. AI recommends videos based on what you love to watch. So that is something that YouTube does, Spotify does for songs, Netflix does for films or documentaries. So that's there. And Google Maps, both coding and AI, it analyzes live traffic to find the fastest route for you. So that is what AI does. So that is Google Maps. Then online shopping. In online shopping, Amazon website. So that is also kind of an AI. Spotify, I just told that it is AI. Then ChatGPT, ChatGPT also I told. Hospitals also use AI. Hospitals, now it's written here, AI helps doctors analyze scans and diagnose diseases. So So previously what doctors used to do, what used to take more time, it is done in like a few seconds by AI. So AI might be, so it's going to be in a computer and a computer will tell that what that guy has, maybe cancer or some other disease. So yeah, ma'am, next slide. Okay, so my question to you guys is, can AI replace humans? So you have an option, yes, no, or maybe. And I also want you to tell that human traits are creativity, emotions, kindness, ethics, and making fair decisions. So I want any one person to come up and say whether he or she thinks it's yes, no, or maybe. Can I have one person to say that? Anyone? Don't be afraid. Um, okay, sweetie KNF. Yeah, yeah, please unmute yourself and tell me.
Thank you. So, first of all, according to me, yes, AI can replace humans because AI have built creativity, ethics, and making fair decisions, as well as through few Instagram reports. Emotions are also um, built in AI, like ChatGPT. If we tell them about our day, so AI also reply us very politely and familiarly that how to he sup- the AI supports
Got
us
it. Yeah.
also.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good answer. Yeah, very nice. So yeah, yes can be an answer. Yeah. But maybe can also be an answer because there are emotions. Obviously, AI hasn't replaced humans with that emotion trait for now. It might or it might not. So we don't know. The future holds it. So for now it's maybe, but yeah, what you said is also correct. It might be yes. Okay, so thank you. Ma'am, next slide. Okay. AI needs responsible coders. So as you guys might be knowing that AI is made by humans only, after all. The simple coding is done by humans. So if there's something known as good coding, there's something known as bad coding. If I do good coding, then I'll be getting good results, obviously. AI is going to give me correct answers. But if I do bad coding, then I'll be getting some critical mistakes or something which is bad for the environment. Now there was a recent case for Gemini. You people might be knowing Gemini. It's a Google AI platform, right? So I think a person had asked to generate a soldier. I think it was a German soldier, and it had generated a black soldier. So or an Asian soldier. So that is example of bad coding. So like that is a, I would say that's a small error out of like AI is so big. But good coding is like it's showing some efficiency. Then might give, like it should give almost all the correct answers. It should be nearly 100% or 100%. So that's there. Yeah. Ma'am, next slide. So yeah, so I want to give some key points. First is coding means giving clear instructions. So like I told, instructions are given by humans. Coding means that coding just has some syntax which you guys have to learn. Otherwise, it's just like giving instructions, like the decision tree. So that's it. Then the second one is AI learns from data and patterns. Uh, Questions are asked by humans, but then AI learns. AI never gives the same answer again. You people must have noticed that. It always tries to make the answers better. So better or more concise, more informative. So that's how the second point is. The third point is AI doesn't magically know everything. I've already told that. Humans have only created AI. So it would not magically know everything. So as long as you feed information, then it will learn because it connects the data from the internet and then it gives the best possible answer at that instant. So that is what basically AI. So it doesn't magically know everything. Then fourth is people build and improve AI. So that is a professional point of view. People build AI, so that you guys know. But improving AI is also a profession now to give me the most accurate answer in the shortest time possible. So that is also a important profession which is happening right now. Um, okay, and fifth one is you can start thinking like a coder today. Now that I have told you about AI, about coding, you people can also start thinking like a coder. So being a coder is not difficult. Only syntax and all I can understand. You'll have to learn. But being a simple coder is just learning from nature. It's just simple. It's just in you. But syntax is, yeah, computer is not that simple. But but it's easy for you to learn. So, ma'am, next slide. Okay. So, my last homework challenge for you would be to observe AI around you. So, first is what does AI help you do? So, you must be using AI maybe in your homework or you have to make some article. You'll use AI. Even I do. So, I just want to know, like, first of all, which platform you're using and how is it helping you? Then second is data and decisions. What information does it use to make decisions? Okay, I see a question. How can we learn the syntax from any websites or channels? It's simple. You just so syntax is many languages. That's Python, then there is Java. So that is what is asking questions. Now you can just ask question. Can I get a beginner level course? You can ask this to AI itself. Can I get a beginner level course for Python? So even I have done a few courses for Python as well as Java. So you can ask that. You can ask that to Gemini. Gemini, not even ChatGPT, just ask Gemini. It will give you the code, and and go deeper in that. I would suggest to go deeper in that. Just get a rough idea about its syllabus, how it is matching with your curriculum, or how it isn't, or how it is going to be beneficial for your future. Okay, I see that your doubt is cleared, so I'll go ahead. Um, Yeah, I was talking about data and decisions. What information does it use to make decisions? Okay, so usually in Gemini or in ChatGPT, they also give you a reference from which website. I told you AI uses websites. So here you have to also tell me what website, the name of the websites you have to tell me from which it has given you this information, whatever information you're looking for. So I just want that. Then third question is, um, if you were the coder, what new feature would you add for students? So yeah, if you were, so it's a simple question. I don't think I need to explain. I think you guys have got it. A new feature would be, I don't want it in a coding perspective, like in syntax perspective or all. I just want the how it will generate a different output, a new perspective. That's what I want. I see. Okay, I see a question. Where did you learn about Java and Python languages? Okay, so there are a few courses from Harvard as well as MIT. So it's CS50X or something. So that helps you with Python and also Java. This is for Python, which I said, but as I'm seeing in Google, you just type it, you're gonna get it. I'm telling you. So it says now dive deeper in AI. Just click on that, and then that's a chatbot which you'll get. You just continue asking it some questions, and it will give you a specific answer. Then you can yourself choose what stream do you want. Sorry, what course do you want? Okay, I think your doubt is cleared. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, responsibility first. The future isn't just about using AI; it's about building it responsibly. So I would like to say, don't misuse AI. For now, try to use AI as less as possible if it is some schoolwork or something. So because after all, AI is made by humans, and humans themselves need to be innovative. So if humans are ceasing to be innovative, then AI is never gonna get better. So you people also should, you know, do any work which is there by yourselves. So thank you. This is all what I wanted to say. I think you guys have understood the difference between AI and coding, how coding works in AI. So thank you.
Does anyone have any questions? Okay, so if no one has any questions, then Harshil, do you want to present next?
Ma'am, can I leave?
Yes,
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
thank you.
Ma'am, I have a request. Can you share it, please? Because I'm not in attending in my laptop.
Okay, yeah, I can share, but the only problem is when I'm sharing, I'm not being able to take screenshots. So can you all take the screenshots yourself?
Like in between the while explaining
Yeah,
like
while
that.
presenting.
Okay, I'll try.
And also, since we only have 30 minutes left, so can you try and finish the presentation a bit?
Yeah, mine is like very short, like 5 to 7 minutes, something like that.
Okay, okay.
Yes. Yeah. Hello everyone. Today I'm gonna like explain about astrophysics and space. Okay. When we see at this image, it's from the James Webb Telescope. Our initial reaction is like it's a beautiful wallpaper. It's easy to feel like space is out there and we are down here. It is completely separate from us. But astrophysics isn't just about far off galaxies. It is like a detective story. How did the universe, like, how did it start? How did raw gas become eventually us? For the next few minutes, we are going to like discuss about this. Yeah. Next slide, ma'am. Okay. Let's kick things off with a question. Can anyone tell that if you have touched a star? So, so I believe that no one has touched a star. Most of us, yeah. So most of us grow up learning that stars are distant spheres of plasma, like billions of distance away from us. But modern physics proves that you don't just touch star matter. You are actually star matter. Every single second of your life, like wearing, breathing, everything is built from stardust that was formed from the Big Bang. Let's break down how the chemistry actually works out. Next slide. Yeah, thank you. So imagine like in the center of the star, it's like a pressure cooker. When the Big Bang, the universe was formed, only two simple elements were present. helium and hydrogen, only these were present. The things that we know of like today, like gold, iron, these did not exist. So how did this come about? So in the core of the stars, in the center of the stars, immense heat and gravity pressure, when it is applied on it, these elements form like the carbon in our DNA, nitrogen for our atmosphere, oxygen for our lungs. So these are formed from those. Next slide. So what is astrophysics? People often confuse about astronomy and astrophysics. Astronomy is like a geography, mapping where planets or galaxies are located. Astrophysics is purely like using our physics concepts that we learn in our textbooks, like thermodynamics, electromagnetisms, and use them to figure out how the universe actually works. So, why does this matter? Because space is the ultimate laboratory. In the space, there are extreme like radiations, pressures, vacuum pressures, extreme gravity that we can never replicate here on the Earth. So, by studying space, we test the fundamental laws of reality. Next slide.
Astrophysics.
Did you know that light is a time machine? You know that time machine is like we can go into the future, we can go to the past, like we have thought about a time machine, right? So light travels very fast, like 3 million kilometers per second. That sounds very fast, but space is so big that it's like the speed of light is matching like to like when we are riding a bicycle. Sunlight takes about 8 minutes to reach the earth. So when you step outside and look at the sun, you are not seeing the current sun on the space. You are actually seeing the sun that was 8 minutes before. So if the sun actually vanished, we wouldn't know it for 8 minutes. So in astrophysics, looking further into space means that looking further back into the past history. Um, Next slide. So how big is the universe? Earth is just one planet orbiting our sun. Our sun is just a typical star orbiting in outer arm of the Milky Way galaxy. The universe contains like many billions of galaxies. Our galaxy is just one of them. Astrophysics forces us to meddle with these situations and numbers, giving us a perspective of our planet and a huge world out of our planet. Um, then, ma'am, the next slide, not this one. Next one, ma'am. 2 slides after this. Next one. Next one. Next one. Not this. Next, yeah. So about space exploration, are we really alone? When we understand how stars are formed, how chemistry develops, and how billions of planetary systems exist across galaxies, we arrive at a question like, are we really alone in this universe? There are many universes and many billions of planets away from our Earth. And when we understand like how stars are formed and how billions of planetary systems exist, we arrive at a question like, are we alone? And then here is a simple analogy to like connect to our real life methods. Next to the track, when you are like imagine you're standing in a railway line at night. Next to the tracks, there is a small lamp burning. You can't physically see a dark train passing in the night. But every time the train car passes directly into the lamp or the light momentarily dips and brightens again as the train moves past. The tiny dip that we see is exactly how space technology works, like the Kepler and TESS telescopes. By measuring the exact depth and timing, astrophysics can calculate the planet size, the orbital speed, and whether it can hold life or not. So, yeah, ma'am, that's it.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Harshil. Does anyone have any questions or wants to know something else about astrophysics? Any questions? Okay, so if no one has any questions, then we'll go to the next presentation. Tanishi, Heath, are you all there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Do you all want me to present as well?
Yeah, I think that'd be better.
Okay. Just make sure like when you all are presenting, like just take each other's screenshots.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it the same presentation on astrophysics?
No, I sent it to you in the meeting chat directly.
Okay, 1 second. Can you send it again? It's opening to the astrophysics and space presentation.
1 minute, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, can you check the latest one I sent?
1 second. Yes,
hi,
Harshal.
ma'am. Can I leave, ma'am?
Yeah,
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
thank you. Okay, you all can start.
Hello, everyone. How's it going? Good to see you all. Before we start anything technical, I want to start with a question. In cinemas, why does one movie make over 1,000 crore rupees while another movie, which came out in the same year, goes away in 5 days and no one talks about it ever? It's the same country with the same audience, and the ticket price is also the same. But what is actually going on here? This question is basically the whole reason we're here today. This is because of economics. Because every time you've bought a ticket, watched a trailer, or went to a film is an economics lesson in real life. We're going to show you how markets work using Bollywood and real numbers. So let's start with something that actually happened. Two big films, Gaddar 2 and OMG 2, released on the same days in the cinema and with the same ticket price. But what happened is that Gaddar 2 pulled in over 500 crore rupees, while OMG 2, which was a good movie, pulled in only 150 crore rupees. Now, while those are two both very big amounts, it's not a small gap. Gaddar 2 made over three times what OMG 2 made on the same Friday and with the same market conditions. And it wasn't the ticket price that changed it wasn't the ticket price which was the reason for this price discrepancy. It was because of economics. Next one. Okay, the first concept is supply and demand. Supply is how much producers are willing to sell, and demand is how much do we, the consumers, are actually willing to pay for the thing that the suppliers are able to sell. When something is scarce and a lot of people want it, the price goes up. For example, when there's a concert happens, people, hundreds of thousands of people want to buy a ticket, but there would only be around 50, 100 seats, etc. So people buy the tickets and then resell them for hundreds of rupees because there's a high demand and low supply of it. This is why the price increases. Next slide. Now, demand isn't a fixed number and it moves around constantly. And it moves because of four main things. The price. The cheaper that something is, the more people show up to buy it. But when things become more expensive, less people want to buy it. The second one is income. When people have more money to spend, they're able to spend more freely and buy more things. The third one is arguably the most important, which is trends and taste. A viral meme or a viral discussion suddenly spikes demands and makes people more willing to buy something for a higher price. And the fourth one is season and weather. This includes festivals, holidays, and exam season. For example, next to Diwali, lights and diyas, price goes up incredibly, and fatakas price becomes like 5 times the original price. Next slide. Okay, so what actually makes people buy things? The first thing is if a trailer or a song hooks them. Second, if someone else recommends it to you. And thirdly, you have so much trust in the producer or the actor in a movie, and you love watching them so much that you just go to a movie. And the last one is when you go buy something simply because it's extremely viral. So, what these all reasons are consumer behavior data on which markets are based. Markets aren't some distant things that happen in textbooks or stocks. They're actually based on the small decisions of everyone that decides whether to buy or not to buy something. So, next, what changes supply? There are four things that move supply. The cost of production, if it suddenly becomes more expensive to make something, sellers won't be able to make enough of the thing. The second one is the number of sellers. More producers in a market usually means that there will be more product available in the market. And third one is better technology. When new technology comes out that allows people to make the same thing at cheaper or faster. And the fourth thing is market price. If the price is high enough, then that's a signal to the producers that there's more money for them to make if they produce more, so they make more. A real world example is OTT platforms. Before Netflix, Prime, and all these streaming services showed up in India, releasing a film cost significantly more because of marketing, distributing film material, and ticket prices, which made it very expensive and risky. But now a small filmmaker can shoot a film on a low budget and drop it straight onto Netflix or another app. That's an example of technology reducing the cost of production. And it is also why we've seen a huge increase in the number of films and shows that come out every year. Next slide. So, where does the price actually settle? This is where both supply and demand actually meet. If you look at the slide, you'll see two lines crossing. The line that goes up is supply, since as price increases, then so does production. And the one that is coming from up to down, or that's demand, since when price increases, less people are willing and able to buy a product. And the place where they intersect, that's called equilibrium. Equilibrium is the price where buyers are happy enough to pay and sellers are happy enough to sell. It's not so high that the buyers walk away and not so low that the sellers lose money. Next. Now, this is the most practical concept you'll learn here. It's called opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is the value of the next best option that you give up, and when you choose something else instead of it. Think about last Friday night. Say you had a 400 rupee budget and 3 hours. So you spend that 400 rupees and 3 hours watching a movie. But in the same time, with the same amount of money, you could have also studied for a test, gone out to have dinner, watched a match, or just slept in your bed. Now, every single of these alternate choices carries a hidden cost, and this is called opportunity cost. It's what you miss out on because of what you choose. This is the entire basis of economics, and nothing is ever actually free because you always trade away something, your time, money, or attention to get something else. Next. Now, let's bring this back to something very concrete. If there are four seats in the same theater to watch the exact same movie, but all four are priced completely differently. For example, on Tuesday on a weekday in the early morning, which is an inconvenient time, it would cost only 120 rupees and the hall would be empty. At Saturday night at 8 o'clock on a weekend at a comfortable time, it would cost more money and it would be a full house. And a more premium seat with more comfort, a recliner would cost even more money. And the most expensive would be an IMAX scene on release day, which would cost the most money, 900 rupees or more. Now, this is all for the same film for a similar seat, even. But the price changes based on timing, comfort, and how much people want it at that time. This is called price discrimination when a business charges different amounts to different people based on which group is willing to pay more. Next. So, what do people actually buy? This is an entire field of study called consumer behavior. There are three main drivers over here: emotion and interest. We buy things that we connect with uh, because we connect with them and we care about them. Social influence, we go out to watch something because friends or because it's popular on social media. And habit, we keep trusting the same actor or the same production set again and again without questioning it since we have trust in it. For example, if there's a large queue in front of a restaurant, that will signal to you as a consumer that more people find this restaurant tasty and more people find this restaurant worth it. So that will make you also more likely to go to that same restaurant because other people are also going to the same restaurant. This is the same psychology behind every trending tag on social media you've clicked and bestseller label on Amazon. Next.
Okay, hi guys, I'm Tanishi, and I'm going to be talking to you about the next part of the presentation. So let's talk about branding. Branding is one of the most powerful market forces. A brand is like a shortcut, like a brand uses branding is like a shortcut for people. Like when people choose a familiar actor or when you see someone you know advertising a product, you are going to be more likely to trust them and buy the product. For example, as you can see in the PPT, Virat Kohli is the brand ambassador of Puma. The moment you see someone you know like Virat Kohli, who's such a big sports player and such a big cricketer, you are more likely to buy stuff from Puma, because that way many people buy tickets before the reviews come out of a movie just because of the name the movie carries and like the actors they have. Next slide please. Competition changes the game. Competition is what happens when multiple sellers chase the same customers, like when many brands are trying to cater to the same kind of audience. This can push prices down, raise the quality, and create new ideas. Think of theaters, streaming platforms, food delivery apps, or phone brands. Sellers have to ask what makes their product unique and why would like us as customers choose them. That pressure often benefits customers as they get a larger variety, so more choices, better service, and better value. For example, let's talk about phone brands. We have Apple, Oppo, Vivo, Android. We have so many different ones, but you go and choose a particular one because it is it has a unique feature that maybe the other ones don't have. Not all markets look the same. Markets differ based on how many sellers there are. In highly competitive markets, many sellers fight for customers, so no single seller has much power. In oligopolies, a few large sellers dominate, so each company watches the others closely. In a monopoly, one seller has much more control. This matters because market structure affects price, quality, innovation, and consumer choice. For example, when in highly competitive markets like your local snack stall, clothing shops, and online tutors, you have so many options. That's why it is a very competitive market. And in oligopoly, there are telecoms, airlines, and large streaming platforms. While there are options, there aren't as many to make it a very competitive market. And in a monopoly, um, there is just a single provider of a good or service, and they are catering to the entire audience. Like, for example, the government acts as a monopoly for many things, such as railway services. In our country, all trains and like railway services are provided by just by the government, making it a government monopoly. Markets react to shocks. A shock is an outside event that suddenly changes supply or demand. Markets are always reacting to shock. A shock is any outside event that moves supply or demand. It could be weather, exams, a festival weekend, fuel prices, a new law, taxes, celebrity controversy, or a viral review. Anything you can think of that could affect supply or demand. The key idea is that markets are dynamic. When the environment changes, prices and behavior can often change too, which means markets are very sensitive and they are very they are able to react a lot to even the smallest of changes. And these changes lead to new outcomes of like maybe higher or lower prices depending on the change, um more higher or lower sales profits, and people can even switch their choices really quickly. For example, a festival weekend, like for example, when we have Ganesh Chaturthi here in Bombay, it is such a big event for us. So many people from all over the world and all over India come to Bombay because it is such a big festival in Bombay. So um this would increase the demand for hotels, food, transport, and everything, especially in Bombay, overall benefiting our entire economy. Information is part of the market. Information can change demand. Before buying, people look for signals. A review, trailer, influencer reaction, or a friend recommendation can reduce uncertainty. In finance, information is even more important because investors constantly react to news. In every market, people do not just pay for the product, they also respond to trust, reputation, and what they believe other people know. You are not going to buy a good or a service, you're not going to buy something without knowing what it does. So it is very important for the brand to advertise their what they are selling, especially like, since we're talking about Bollywood here, they should be giving the audience enough information they need to attract them and to hook them to watch their movies. A market is not just goods and money, it's also trust, reputation, and information. Markets are not only in movies. The same market logic appears in everyday life. At the campus canteen, demand spikes at lunchtime. Ride share prices can rise when it rains or after a concert. Hostel rooms become more valuable when supply is limited. Online courses face competitions as more sellers enter. Once you understand supply, demand, scarcity, and information, you start seeing economics everywhere. Economics is applied in even the smallest areas of your life. Like some examples are shown over here. When you go to the when you go to the canteen during unreasonable hours, like when you go early morning or late afternoon, it's not that much rush, so everything is a little more quiet. But when you go during peak times like lunch or dinner, prices go up, and because people are trying, like the sellers are trying to make a larger profit. Same goes for rideshare apps like Ola, Uber, and even other taxis. Since there's a higher demand, they try to maximize from profit, so the prices go up. Financial markets are markets too. Financial markets may sound different, but the logic is similar. In a movie market, buyers pay based on expectation about entertainment, buzz, and experience. In the stock market, buyers and sellers trade based on expectations about a company's future. Prices move when expectations change. That is why news, rumors, data, and confidence can affect financial markets so quickly. For example, in the movie market, people buy tickets based on what they hear or reviews that you see in the newspaper, or if an influencer posts about it and a review goes viral, that's when you would want to buy a ticket more. In the stock market, it works similarly because people do, like, they also need that information. They do their research about a company, and they gather all the information they can to make a good investment. The key connection is prices often change before the final results because expectations change first. Okay, so this is a little challenge. If y'all have your time, y'all can do it on your own. If you want, you can do it later. But imagine, like, you can do it individually or with a friend. Imagine your team is launching a film app or like just a small business. Choose your product, define your demand. By define your demand, we mean, like, choose your audience. Who are you? Who do you want to sell to? Plan your supply. How many units are you going to sell? How many hours is your company going to work for? And then set a price. Set a price based on your good and who you are wanted to cater it to. And this is one quick question. This is just a little comparison on, like, this kind of movie. Jawan and 12th Fail were two very viral movies that came out. But as you can see, Jawan had a higher gross profit than 12th Fail. Just because one of the main reasons was because it was Shah Rukh Khan in the movie. And since he was such a, like, everyone knows Shah Rukh Khan around the world. He has a brand of his own, which is why it made such a big more profit and revenue. So these are just some key takeaways from our PPT. Demand is people wanting and being able to buy. Supply is producers being willing and able to sell. Price changes when scarcity, demand, supply, and information change. Competition pushes sellers to improve. A brand is trust that can become economic value. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, you can
Thank you,
ask.
guys.
Does anyone have any questions? Did everyone understand? Or no one has any questions? Okay, so if no one has any questions, then thank you, Heath. Thank you, Tanishi, for the presentation. Thank you, everyone, for participating. Okay, then we'll just end the session today. Yeah.